yogis, I'm Kira. Welcome back to the Journey Through the Chakra series. I'm so excited you're here. For today's practice, you'll need 2 yoga blocks. We're going to be exploring Anahata chakra, or the heart chakra. So we'll begin in a heart opening shape and you'll need your blocks. So grab your blocks and we'll come into supported fish to start. So place one block on the medium setting and that'll go into your shoulder blades. And then the other block will go in its highest height and that'll function like a pillow for your head. So you'll come and lay yourself onto the structure you've created like so. Shoulder blades on that first block, head on the next block. And then you might keep your knees bent or you could extend them straight. If you get here and you're like, whoa, this is too much, heart opening too soon, just flip the blocks down to a lower level. And get situated, get comfortable. You want to feel like that first block is sort of in the bra strap area of the upper back. Even if you've never worn a bra, you get the visual. So settle in, feel that space broaden across the chest. Turn your palms to face upward, gesture of receptivity. And take a sweet breath in. Smooth breath out. As you breathe, just feel the breath expand into the belly, the ribs, the chest. And then stretch your arms up. We'll get a bit deeper into the shoulder girdle. So go ahead and grab opposite elbows here. Take an inhale. As you exhale, begin to guide the shape overhead. Take another inhale. And as you exhale, draw your front ribs closed and breathe. Pull your elbows together, biceps by the ears, so you create some support and stability as you're releasing into this upper back and chest and spine opener. Breathe in your shape. Very good. Stretch the arms back up. And then grab for opposite elbows. Inhale. Exhale, guide the shape overhead any amount, not forcing. Just breathing and easing your way into the stretch. Inhale. Exhale, draw the front ribs closed. Pull the elbows in, breathe. Rinse breath into the armpits, the upper back, the shoulders. So if this is at all uncomfortable, welcome to the club. We're opening the area of heart chakra, chest, upper back, upper side waist. And this is an area that can get very constricted and contracted nowadays because we sit a lot, we have a forward head carriage because of all of our use of tech. So creating opening in space might feel foreign at first, but then so good. Stretch the arms up. Very nice. Bring the hands down, bend your knees, feet to the floor, and then gently press yourself up to sit. Come off of the blocks. So just set the blocks off to the side and come right on back down. Still lake pose, bending the knees, feet to the floor. Bring one hand over your heart, one hand over your belly, and just breathe into the hands. Allowing your back to come into a neutral position. Focus on the expansion of the inhale into the belly, the ribs, and the chest. And the soothing fall of the belly away from the hands as you exhale. Today's practice will open and explore Anahata chakra, heart chakra, associated with the color green in the center of the chest. So you might Imagine a vibrant, lush green in the center of the chest. And emotionally, heart chakra is all about love and all the associated emotions and ideas with it, like empathy, compassion for ourselves, generosity. Heart chakra also governs our courageousness, our ability to take risks, and stretch beyond our comfort zone. Bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Gesture of care and sweetness to the body. And then roll onto your right side. And come onto your forearms for a forearm plank. So if you're a bit newer to this, you'll bring the forearms down and interlace your fingers here and step your feet back. If it's a little bit more comfortable for you to separate the arms, take this variation. Protract your upper back. So round the upper back, gaze forward, and start to shift forward and back. Breathe here. Bringing in a bit of heat. Heat and strength. Speaking of feet, step your feet together. Now feel like your shoulders and your hips are in line here. You're supported like a steady plank of wood. Find stillness. Let's add twists. So send your heels to the right and then over to the left. Over to the right, over to the left. 2 more each side. Keep breathing. Lighting up your obliques and your fiery center to support your flow. Pause and lower the hips down for Sphinx pose. Roll the shoulders down the back. Press the forearms firmly down and then stretch up through the crown of your head. Inhale. Exhale. Lower down, make a little pillow for the forehead, the hands. And shimmy the hips a little side to side. This is a very soothing gesture for the nervous system to rock the hips. It's a way of showing ourselves care. From here, bring the hands out on either side of your mat onto the floor. And find a claw-like shape with the fingers, rolling cobras. Press the top of the feet down, and as you inhale, pull your chest forward and up. Exhale, lower down any amount. I'm like colliding with my plant. Excuse me, snake plant. Here we go. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower a few more times, making space in the spine. Good. And then bring the hands by the ribs. Press yourself up to sit, hips to heels in Virasana. If that's not comfortable to sit in that way, you could try sitting on a block or just sit cross-legged, but find a comfortable seat. And bring your palms to prayer, Anjali Mudra at your heart. So in the yogic tradition, we use mudras. Mudra means seal or gesture. So it's a gesture with the hands. Anjali Mudra is the heart chakra mudra, palms at the heart. And the yogis believe that the hands are an extension of our hearts. If you think about it, many cultures use the hands to gesture when we speak. Makes sense. So we'll open the hands as we work with opening heart chakra. Turn the back of your palms to touch, and then bring the fingers towards you and start to circle the wrists and the hands. Really stretch the fingers. And then go the opposite direction with that. Rolling out the wrists, articulating the fingers. Very nice. And then interlace your fingers to the webbing. Press the palms away from you. Round your upper back. Imagine you're like pushing something away. Breathe into the upper back. Huge inhale. Exhale through your mouth. Inhale, press up, look up. Exhale through the mouth. Release the hands. And then interlace the fingers once again at the second knuckle. Thumbs are up, palms face you. Sit tall, pull your heart towards the palms. Vajrapradma mudra. This is the mudra of unshakable trust. Looks like a little shield to me, like a shield for the heart. However, ironically, all emotions related to love require that we put down the shield, right? That we're vulnerable, that we allow vulnerability, which requires a lot of trust. So cultivating trust is what we will work toward in our practice today. Release the hands. Let's come back to the forearms. This time progressing into dolphin pose, really beautiful shoulder opener and strengthener. So again, much like your forearm plank, if you're still building strength, interlace your fingers, take this steadier base. More challenging, bring the forearms parallel like the number 11. From here, you're gonna lift your hips up and back. It's like you're doing a downward dog on your forearms. So about 8 breaths here, friends. You're gonna press the forearms down, lift the hips up and back, and it's totally okay to bend the knees if the legs are tight. But find a little action of like a cow tilt in the spine here. So you're arching slightly the lower back, which lifts you up and out of your shoulder girdle and pulls your chest towards your thighs. Keep looking forward between the thumbs. You're doing great. I know this is intense, but trust me, after dolphin, your downward dog will feel like a piece of cake. Take one more breath in, breath out. If the fingers are interlaced, separate them. See if you can straighten the arms. Whoo! And meet me right in down dog. Separate the feet. Free that up. Pedal through the legs, maybe flutter your lips. Shake your head, move your energy. Very good, yogis. Lift the right leg high, bend the knee, open the hip. Just enjoy that stretch, that opening. And then change. Right foot down, lift the left leg up, bend the knee, open the hip. Hello. And then lower the leg. Walk your hands back to your feet. Hands back to the feet. Find a ragdoll, grab opposite elbows, heavier head. Sway side to side, just give in to gravity. Let gravity be your best friend here as you open the backs of the legs and the spine. And then release the hands down, soften the knees, roll up to stand, stacking the bones, arriving tall and steady in your mountain Tadasana. I feel like I tried to do a little hair flip there at the end and it wasn't entirely successful. Okay, from here, we cultivate trust. If you feel comfortable doing so, close your eyes and see if you can walk to the front of your mat using your senses to tell you when you've reached the end, right? So take away the sense of sight. Feel the texture of your mat under your feet and just walk forward. You're not gonna fall off the edge of something. You're on solid ground. But trust your feet to tell you when you've reached the end of your yoga mat. And when you think that is, open the eyes. Just see where you landed. And without any judgment, bring yourself back to center. Let's have the feet hips width distance. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, bend the knees, open the arms like wings, twist to your right. Inhale, stretch back up. Exhale, bend the knees, twist to your left. Again, inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, now a change, forward fold over the legs. Step back to downward facing dog. I'll meet you there. 5 breaths. Spread the fingers, really press down through the index finger knuckle, articulating through the hands. Press the ground away. Feel your hips lift up and back in space and the inner thighs firm together. Mula Bandha active. Inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale, step forward for high crescent lunge. So you'll be on the ball of your back foot. Arms come by the ears. Don't want you to feel like you're on a tightrope, so steady your base so you feel strong. Close the front ribs. Reach up. Inhale. Exhale. Lower your palms to prayer, Anjali Mudra. Then we take mudra of unshakable trust. Vajrapradma mudra. So interlace all the fingers, thumbs up. Feel like you're pulling your sternum towards the palms. Let this mudra do something to you. Let it lift your spine, ignite your confidence. Inhale. Exhale. Goddess squat. Spin on the ball of your back foot, heels and toes out. Keep the mudra. So you've got to ground into your feet to stay steady here as the hands are interlaced and locked. Inhale. Exhale. Release the mudra. Straighten the legs and parallel the feet. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, drop your front arm. Keep stretching up as you inhale. Exhale, take a side bend to the front of your space. Ground the outer blade of your left foot. So you're really keeping this in a side bend and you're not kind of doing one of these. Good. Option to take your right arm into a bind behind your back. Look up. Inhale. Exhale. Use your obliques to pull yourself back up. Really nice. Warrior two, spin your right toes forward. Bend your right knee. Arrive in your Virabhadrasana two. Landing in your pose. Steady and strong. Skandasana, back of your mat. So you'll bend your back knee. Front leg lengthens, palms to prayer. Side lunge. Feel your butt pull back and your heart pull forward. Now we flow this. So gaze to the front of your space. Press to warrior two. Let's find a flow. Inhale, Skandasana. Exhale, press, warrior two, like surfing. Inhale, Skandasana. Exhale, press, warrior two, pause. Inhale, flip the front palm up, tip it back, peaceful warrior. Exhale, cartwheel the hands to the mat. Step to plank vinyasa, flow your way. Back to downward facing dog, modified chaturanga, or full to cobra or up dog. Down dog is where we meet. Inhale the left leg high. Exhale, step it through. It's high crescent lunge. Rising up, finding your steady center. Lengthen your front toes to the front of your space so you can use the feet to ground. Inhale. Exhale, palms to prayer. Vajrapradma mudra. Interlace the fingers, thumbs up. Pull the heart towards the mudra. Let that lift you and root you. Goddess is where you're headed. So you'll spin on the ball of the back foot. Heels and toes out. Keep the mudra. Breathe with it. Release the mudra. Straighten the legs. Parallel the feet. And inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, drop your front arm. It's a side bend. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend to the left. Press the hips to the right. Option to take a half bind with your left arm behind your back. Gaze up. Inhale. Exhale. Use your strength to pull yourself back up and into warrior two. Left toes face the front. Land in your pose. Skandasana, side lunge, back of the mat. Just find it first before you flow. Gaze forward, let's flow. Warrior two, like you're moving through honey. Inhale, back to Skandasana. Exhale, press, warrior two. Inhale, Skandasana. Exhale, warrior two, pause. Flip the front palm up. Inhale, tip back to peaceful. Exhale, cartwheel the hands to the mat. Step to plank, ride your breath through your flow. Next breath in, lift your right leg high. Step your right foot to the outside of your right hand for a lizard lunge. So lower your back knee down. Roll to the outer blade of the front foot, lizard lunge. We'll be here for about 6 or so breaths, so you've got some options. You could stay on the hands. You might bring your forearms down to blocks. I really like forearms on blocks because rather than rounding and stooping here, I want you to think of pulling your heart forward. Pulling your heart forward and reaching your back toes back. So finding length and opening in the lizard. Option to take Chapasana, bending the back foot. Listen, reach your left arm back to catch the foot, quad stretch. Chapasana variation. So sometimes you'll see this as a twist. Today we're reaching for the foot with the same side arm. That choice will make sense later. At least it does in my brain. Take one more breath in. Breath out, release the foot grab if you have it. We'll come onto the hands. Low lunge is where we're headed. So you'll heel toe your front foot to the center of the mat, Anjaneyasana. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, palms to prayer, Anjali Mudra. Vajrapradma Mudra of unshakable trust. Now take the mudra. Flip your palms away from you. Start to lean forward. Push forward with your hands. And then inhale, stretch the arms up, look up. Exhale, either stay or keep leaning back. Keep pressing up and leaning back. Shining heart forward, breathe with it. One more breath in. Breath out, cactus the arms. Hands come down to the mat. Tuck your back toes, lift your knee. It's a wide-legged forward fold. Folding over the legs, recover. Maybe you grab the ankles if that's available, or just dangle over your legs. Heavy head, neck completely released and relaxed. Let's take one more inhale. And exhale. Bring your hands to your hips. Come up with a flat back. Warrior two. Spin the right toes forward. Half moon. So we're going to do an exercise here to cultivate trust in half moon. So from warrior two, you're going to look down at your front big toe. Start to lean forward until your back leg lifts. Maybe you use a block on your right hand. And then we're going to go back and forth between these shapes. So start to bend your standing leg. If you like using a block, bring it with you. Land in warrior two. Inhale. Exhale, lean and lift. Half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Start to bend your standing leg. Feel your back foot like an antenna telling you where the ground is as you come back to warrior two. Good, playful approach, last one, inhale. Exhale, lean and lift, go for it. Half moon. Keep your gaze down if you feel wobbly. Option to stay or Chapasana. Bending your back leg to grab the foot or ankle. Bowing the heart forward. We'll meet in a forward fold at the top of your mat. Slow and steady transition. From your forward fold, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Option to take a vinyasa or just step back to downward facing dog. That's where we'll meet. And we'll bring it home. One more time we flow. Inhale the left leg high. Exhale, step the left foot to the outside of the left hand for lizard lunge. Gently lowering the back knee down. Step by step, breath by breath, you build your pose. You could roll to the outer blade of the front foot. Coming into the variation you did on the other side. I'm going to use my blocks to come onto the forearms. Lizard is an intense one. Requires some vulnerability. We're stretching our psoas here, which is sort of a prehistoric muscle, in that it has a fight or flight mechanism. So the psoas contracts when we're stressed or we're fearful. So if this feels kind of intense or squirmy, there's a reason for that. Be with yourself. If you took Chapasana, make sure you do that on the other side to find balance, as long as it's okay with your knee. One more breath in. Breath out. Release the foot grab if you have it. Slowly come onto the hands. Low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Lift the arms up by the ears. Inhale. Exhale, palms to prayer. Anjali mudra. Vajrapradma mudra of unshakable trust. Flip the palms forward. Start to lean forward like you're pressing away. Inhale, lift up, gaze up. Exhale, start to lift up more and arc back. Or you just keep pressing up. Stay with yourself in an intense situation. Maybe you imagine vibrant green light emanating from the center of the chest. One more inhale. Exhale, cactus the arms, hands to the mat. Tuck your back toes, lift your knee. Whew. Wide-legged forward folds, parallel your feet. Fold over the legs. Just letting yourself recalibrate in this moment of pause. Nourishing yourself with breath. One more inhale. And exhale. Bring hands to hips. Ground the feet, come up with a flat back. Straight into warrior two. Spin your left toes forward, rebend the front knee. Warrior two to half moon. Balance play. So look down at your front big toe. Keep leaning forward until your back leg lifts. Maybe you use a block, maybe not. Now bend the standing leg. Feel for the floor with your back foot. Warrior two, land. Inhale. Exhale, lean and lift. Don't think, just act. Cultivating courage and trust. Bend the standing leg. Warrior two. Inhale. Exhale, Ardha Chandrasana, lean and lift, half moon. Now you're gonna stay. Maybe you take Chapasana, bending the leg, reaching for the foot or ankle. Bowing the heart forward, keep grounding your front big toe to stay balanced and steady. And then it's a forward fold, top of your mat. Whew. Take a ragdoll and grab opposite elbows. Sway side to side, heavy head. And then lower the hands, step back to plank. Slowly lower to the belly, slowly as you can. For locust, Shalabhasana. Bring the arms alongside the hips. Now we'll just do one, if you really love bow pose, Dhanurasana. The variation of this where you bend the legs and grab the feet. Be my guest. Locust or bow. On your inhale, lift everything off the mat. Roll the heads of the shoulders back, palms face the hips. Can you spread your collarbones? Stretch through the toes. Try to lift the chest a little higher. Imagine that your lungs are 2 helium balloons. Another sip of air in. Exhale, stay suspended and lifted. One more breath. Let it go. Bring one cheek to the mat. Rest. Feel your heart beating. Slowly bring the hands by the ribs. Press yourself up and back to stand on the knees for camel, Ustrasana. So we'll come into just one round of camel. Could be a baby camel, could be full. I'll leave that in your hands. But we'll all start the same way. So bring your knees at least hips width distance apart. Bring your hands to your lower back. Roll the heads of the shoulders back and pull the elbows in, just like your locust pose. Stretch your tailbone down, reach the crown of the head up. Inhale, lift the sternum, gaze up. Exhale, start to arc back like you're doing the limbo. Maybe you stay there, maybe you're able to reach back for the heels. Catching the heels from the inside, thumbs on the outside. Drop the head back if it's okay with the neck, breathe. Few more breaths if you can. Whenever you come up, do it slowly with trust. Head is the last thing. Wherever you are, slowly come up. Don't be in a rush. Once you're all the way up, chin to chest. Sit the hips to the heels. Virasana, recover. Hands in the lap. Breathe. Be with yourself. Back bends can be pretty intense. Camel asks us to lean back, to trust. This can be an activating asana. One last time, find that mudra of unshakable trust. Interlacing all the fingers, thumbs up. Just breathe. Trusting yourself. Learning to trust yourself is one of the greatest gifts of your practice. Blink the eyes open if they're closed. And find your way to a seat. We'll take a seated spinal twist. Ardha Matsyendrasana. Cross your right leg over your left leg. Sit tall. You might keep your left leg extended, or you could curl it in. But feel both sitting bones are anchored. And bring your left hand behind you for support. Inhale, lengthen up, reach up. Wait, this is all wrong. Switch the arms. Right hand behind like a kickstand, left arm up. Inhale. Exhale, gently twist to your right. So hook your left elbow outside of your right thigh if it's comfortable. Keep lengthening up like your spine is a string of beads. Every exhale, you rotate maybe half a degree, gazing over the back shoulder. One more inhale. And exhale. Gently unwind. Find a counter twist to your left. And then come up. We'll switch. Right leg long, left foot steps over it. Sit tall. You either stay there or curl the bottom leg in. Left hand behind you, right arm stretching up. Inhale. Exhale, gently twist. Breathe into it. Let it evolve over time. Feel the spine lengthening. And your right rib cage wrapping around your spine. Chest rotating. Inhale. Exhale. Gently unwind. Counter twist to the right. And then extend your legs long. Paschimottanasana. Seated forward fold. Restore some balance after all of our heart-opening shapes. So a couple ways to approach this. If you feel like the back of your legs are really tight or your low back is really tight, you never really want to force your forward folding, okay? So if that sounds like your body, I want you to take a gentle bend in your knees and think of just walking your hands forward, gently folding forward like this. So you're finding length as you fold. If you're quite flexible and open in the backs of the legs, shift your pelvis slightly forward, stretch the arms up, big inhale. Exhale, hinge from the hips, peace fingers wrap around the big toes, pull the heart towards the shins, folding over yourself. We'll be here for about 8 breaths. Deepen your breath and drop your focus deeper and deeper inside of yourself. The poet and monk and author Thomas More, he said, "Intimacy is about bringing forth deeply interior aspects of the self." So in order to be intimate or to love, we have to know ourselves, study ourselves. Let's take one more inhale and exhale. Slowly rise up, release, and make your way onto your back. Hug the knees into your chest. You might want to have your blocks nearby for your final resting pose today. So come onto your back, hug the knees in, give yourself a squeeze. And then for closing this practice, let's find Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees apart. And you might take your blocks and bring them underneath your thighs for some support. Bring your left hand over your heart and your right hand over your belly. Observing the rising and falling sensation of breath. Perhaps you can sense your heartbeat underneath your left hand. This practice asks you to meet yourself again and again, wherever you are on any given day, and show up for yourself. Please give yourself the gift of resting here as long as you can. And thank you so much for showing up to practice with vulnerability and trust. Wishing you all the best. I'll see you soon.